Hello everyone, Saturday 28th of March 2020 and I'm back with another coronavirus video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like the video if you like it and leave me a comment down below. I'm saying this at the beginning of the video instead of at the end. Alright, first up, the count. As of right now recording this video, there are 598,094 cases worldwide. I'm sure that'll change by the time I upload the video. There's the up-to-date count, okay? 27,371 deaths. Mind-blowing. 27,000 extra people, unfortunately, have died as a result of this virus. Okay, so yesterday, the USA topped the list with 18,691 new cases and 401 deaths. The deaths are starting to ramp up now in America. Yesterday, Spain had 7,933 new cases with 773 deaths, followed by Germany, Italy, France, and the UK. The UK added 2,885 cases yesterday, so the UK is well into the 1,000+ per day mark, with 181 new confirmed deaths. So although yesterday we talked about Germany's death count yesterday was 84, so it doesn't matter how they try and fiddle it, the death rate is still going up and the hospitals very soon, just like the rest of the world, will be overwhelmed because these numbers are crazy. At this rate, we're looking at, we're looking at Iran, France, Italy, Germany, Spain and the USA all being more than China's official numbers. So everyone's talking about a peak, a peak, a peak. There is no peak, okay? There won't be a peak. Countries like South Korea and places like Taiwan where they've got it under control, that's as a result of not just the government policy but the people, the population. Population there are used to wearing face masks. I'm going to keep saying it again. Face mask is going to be the theme of today's video. If you're not interested in face masks, go to a different channel. Taiwan and South Korea, these two places in particular, Japan as well, to be honest, these places have managed to keep the virus away because everyone in the country generally wears face masks anyway. And as a result of this virus, there's been policy, government policy, forcing people to wear face masks. If you leave the house, you have to wear a face mask. And with South Korea and their high-tech methods of finding people who have been infected and finding their contacts, so they've managed to control / stay on top of the situation in South Korea. Other countries can't dream of that. Especially, oh my goodness, yesterday, Boris Johnson and pretty much all his team, they're all dropping one by one. I say dropping, they're not dead, but you know what I mean. They're all getting infected one by one. And this is gonna happen all across Europe and all across America. I'm just waiting for Trump to get infected because as of today, these people, they don't wear face masks ever. Never wear a face mask. You don't know who's infected. Someone could be infected asymptomatic. They don't have any symptoms and they pass it straight on to you. You know, people say, you only need to wear a face mask if you're sick. Well, what if you don't know that you're sick? What if you've got the virus, you're asymptomatic, and you're just next to someone passing it on, spreading it around? And all these people are like, yeah, I'm not going to wear a face mask. And Boris Johnson, oh my God, there's too many videos of, it's a joke, too many videos of him where he said stupid stuff like, I've been shaking hands with everyone.
I think there were actually a few coronavirus patients and I shook hands with everybody, you'll be pleased to know.
Oh yeah, it's your own choice. if you want to wash your hands, you should wash your hands, yeah, all this nonsense. And now look, he's got the virus. It's an embarrassment, to be honest. He's the first, I think he's the first sort of major world leader that's been infected with the coronavirus, and that's an embarrassment. After his previous comments about, you know, herd immunity and his sort of mocking of the situation in some ways, and his partner is pregnant. It's just mind-blowing, it's just so stupid. I just don't understand why the West is so against face masks. I kind of understand a little bit, and you know, this is my theory, okay? Again, it's just a theory. The West doesn't produce face masks generally, so therefore they have to buy them from Asia. Right now, the supply in Asia is limited because a lot of countries aren't exporting these things because they need them right now, they need them a lot. So the West has this many face masks and this many doctors and nurses, and they're like, oh my God, let's ration them, how can we do this? Let's just tell the public they don't need to wear masks. Okay, don't buy face masks, yeah, that's it, don't buy face masks, don't wear them, they don't work. You only need them if you're a doctor.
If you do not have any respiratory symptoms such as fever, cough, or runny nose, you do not need to wear a medical mask like this one. Mask alone can give you a false feeling of protection and can even be a source of infection when not used correctly. Masks should only be used by healthcare workers, caretakers, or by people who are sick with symptoms of fever and cough.
Okay, so face masks don't work. You only need them if you're a doctor. So do they work or not? Why do doctors need them?
Why? because healthcare workers and caretakers are in close contact with ill individuals, so they're at higher risk of catching COVID-19. And sick people should wear masks to protect others from small droplets that can come out when they cough or sneeze.
Oh, because they're going to be in contact with sick people. Yeah, well, so is the general public. That's how this thing is spreading. You don't know who's sick. That's the whole point. The doctors are in contact with sick people. People on the bus and in the subway are in contact with sick people. What's the difference? What's the difference? Doctors in close contact. Yeah, have you seen the London Underground? They're in close contact too. What's the difference? Some people don't even know they're sick. Some people cough and they just think it's a normal cough. What's the difference? What is with this weird advice? If anyone with half a brain, just look at the advice about face masks before the coronavirus, right? It would always say stuff like, they're there to protect you against stuff on the outside of the mask. And now that the coronavirus is here, they're saying you only wear the mask to protect other people from yourself. All right, does that make sense? All these world leaders around the world, one by one, they're all going to get infected because they all think they're invincible and they all think, they're so sure that face masks don't work. Well, if they don't work, you're going to get infected. Let's just test the herd immunity among all the world leaders in the West. Let's just see. Survival of the fittest. Let's see who's fit. Saying you're not going to wear a face mask because they don't work, there's no evidence, is like saying that you're not going to take an umbrella when it's raining because there's no evidence that your whole body will stay dry. People use umbrellas all the time, right? Because even if they're not 100%, it does help. And Boris Johnson, whether he wore a face mask or not, why wasn't he more protected? Why wasn't he more isolated? There's a pandemic, there's a virus that's going around, a virus you can't see, a virus people can have and they don't know they've got it. Why wasn't the Prime Minister more protected? Whether it's wearing a hazmat suit, wearing a face mask in isolation, just separate from everyone. Why is he walking around hospitals shaking hands with people that are infected? There are still cruise ships going around the world. There are still people on cruise ships that think they're safe and they're stranded at sea now. They can't go anywhere. And there's one in particular that I'm looking at today called the Zandam, I don't know how you pronounce that, Zandam cruise ship. It's a luxury cruise ship apparently. And there's a bunch of people on there with the virus and 4 people have died on the cruise ship as a result of the virus. Would you like to be on a cruise ship where there are dead people on the ship and you can't actually dock anywhere? That must be a bit scary. But to be honest, again, I can't have any sympathy for these people because what are you doing on a cruise ship now? We've been talking about cruise ships since that one in Japan, you know, the Diamond Princess. And people are still going on cruise ships. People still think it's safe to go on cruise ships. And the excuse I read from one of them was like, oh, but in South America at that time there were no cases, so we thought we were safe. This virus is going to go everywhere. How can you think you're safe anywhere? Don't go on a cruise ship. What are you doing on a cruise ship? If you're on a cruise ship now, at this point in time, right now, I don't even know if you deserve to be helped. It's like those people walking around licking stuff in the supermarkets. Like, if they get the virus, should we just let them figure it out by themselves? Just say, go home, lock you in your home and just figure it out by yourself because, like, you asked for it.
China's foreign ministry says some countries are ignoring World Health Organization advice on the new coronavirus. It says countries with sound health systems should not be imposing excessive restrictions on travel related to China. And these include barring entry to foreigners who have been to China in the last 14 days.
There is no reason for measures that unnecessarily interfere with international travel and trade. We call on all countries to implement decisions that are evidence-based and consistent. WHO stands ready to provide advice to any country that's considering which measures to take. Don't worry, it's not corona.
这些措施与世卫组织的建议严重不符。我们需要事实，而不是恐惧。我们需要科学，而不是 rumor。我们需要团结，而不是 stigma.
China just banned foreigners from entering the country. Latest reports are showing that over 6,000 people are hospitalized in New York. 6,000 people hospitalized just from the coronavirus, not including people who are, you know, generally in the hospital anyway on a normal day. That's a lot for one city. So anyone out there that still doesn't think it's serious, please, it's really serious. You may have it and you may only have mild symptoms, fine, but don't spread it around because some people are gonna die. And let's say right now you break your leg, unrelated to coronavirus. You go to hospital and they tell you they can't accept you because they've got no beds and blood is coming from your leg. And if you were one of those people that went to a party the other day and spread the virus around because you don't have any symptoms, you're fine, yeah, and then you broke your leg, you can't go to hospital, how do you feel? The travel industry has taken a massive hit, which is unsurprising because a lot of countries are blocking people from entering. If you know anything about planes, you know that they're really expensive to run, okay? And usually what happens is the plane will go from one place to the other, and when it gets to this place, the job of the people that are working in or on this plane is to get this plane back in the air as soon as possible. So as soon as it lands, it's like, out, 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 get out, get out, get out, clean, 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 clean. And at the same time, they're taking off the bags, putting on the new bags, cleaning this, cleaning that, checking the engines, checking this, checking the wheels, checking the landing, checking all this stuff, and then it's like, pew, back into the air. These planes are not used to being on the ground for a very long time. So, this may sound like a bit spooky, but I'm just thinking, if there are so many planes in the world, right, that suddenly have just stopped working for a long time. You know, think about your car. If you don't drive your car for 3 months, you just leave it there for 3 months. When you go back to the car, do you think it's just gonna go the same way like it did before the 3 months? No, it's gonna have some problem because when stuff with engines and moving parts, like planes have so many moving bits, when they stop moving for so long, stuff gets stuck. It seizes up. Oil changes consistency and fuel and everything just changes when you stop for too long. So I'm thinking, is this year, this whole year, a dangerous year for travel? I'm just thinking, will the planes have a problem when it comes to the time that travel is reopened around the world? Will there soon be faulty planes in the air because they've been stopped for the longest period in their lifetime? I don't think planes generally stop for so long, do they? And you're going to talk like a month or 2 or 3 in some cases. Like when they've been frozen, they've stopped for so long. How easy is it going to be to sort them out again so that they can go in the air and be safe? I'm thinking, will this year have some plane disasters? I don't want to jinx it, but it feels to me, you know, I'm just thinking about like my car. If I didn't start the car for a week or 2 or 3, just leave it there. The first time you use it, it doesn't feel very good. And anyway, just a weird theory that's gone in my head. Finally, in Iran, there's something going around where there's a cure for the coronavirus and people think that you can inhale some kind of methanol solution and somehow the coronavirus just won't infect you. But a lot of people are dying. There are nearly 300 people dead and over 1,000 that are sick as a result of inhaling some kind of methanol. Which I want to say is ridiculous, but at the same time, with all the fake information that's going around and the lack of information from governments, I'm not surprised that people think that they can find some kind of home remedy. It seems that the WHO and a lot of healthcare providers aren't giving a lot of good information. It's just a load of wash your hands and don't touch your face and stuff like that. And there's not really a lot of practical advice for people to follow. So I'm not surprised that if someone somewhere has a solution, that it gets spread around and people just start doing it. So I'm not surprised. Even if you told me it's a definite cure, inhaling methanol, whatever, it just doesn't sound safe. So no. Listen to the doctors. I know they're not telling you much, but just keep washing your hands, stay at home. If you have any symptoms, if you feel like you have symptoms, call your doctors. Try not to go to the hospital, I think. I think that's the advice generally now. Just don't go to hospital. Wait for them to pick you up or tell you exactly where to go. Call ahead, try and get some help on the phone before you go, and I don't know, wish for the best. Seems that right now there isn't anywhere that's being very upfront with the help, so I don't know. At the moment, I'm not sure if the UK will get as far as Italy. We'll see. The social distancing thing might actually work in slowing it down, because if people are generally at home now, because it's being enforced a lot more, then hopefully the cases will start to come down. But the problem is, the lack of personal protective equipment in the UK for the nurses, the doctors, and just generally, people just don't really do face masks and protective equipment, so I don't have a lot of faith in that at all. Italy has now been on lockdown for, what, 2 weeks, and the numbers are still going up, so I think they did it too late. And I think the same will happen for the rest of the European countries as well. There's not a lot of good news about this coronavirus, I'm telling you. There's nothing really good. So I'm looking to you for the good news. Let me know if there's something good happening near you or where you live, because the stories I'm getting so far, it seems to be that slowly, the further out around the world you go, more and more people are just starting now to realise that it is a serious thing, and the panic is starting to set in. So if there is something good out there about the coronavirus or the response from your government, your country, let me know in the comments down below, please. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.